The stars. They've always fascinated us, haven't they? The vast expanse of the universe, filled with untold wonders and mysteries, leading us to wonder, are we alone? What if we weren't? What if one day, humanity's most primal instincts would be put to the ultimate test against beings far beyond our comprehension? Imagine a conflict so intense, so all-consuming, that it altered the very course of the galaxy. What if humanity had to fight for its survival against a superior alien force? The possibility of extraterrestrial life has been a topic of intrigue for centuries. But what if those life forms were not only real, but were capable of launching a war against humanity? Not some distant peaceful race, but a highly advanced species bent on domination. And when the war began, it was unlike anything Earth or the universe had ever seen. In the early 22nd century, humanity had taken its first tentative steps beyond the cradle of Earth, sending probes and later manned missions into the stars. The dream of interstellar exploration was well within reach. But as we spread our influence across space, we inevitably crossed paths with other civilizations. Some were peaceful, offering knowledge and trade. But others saw humanity as a threat. Or perhaps they saw us as a mere obstacle to their own goals. Thus began the conflict, the war that would stretch from Earth's surface to the farthest reaches of the galaxy. The first sign came as a series of mysterious signals, detectable only by the most advanced technology humanity possessed at the time. No one knew what they meant, but they were unmistakable, an intelligent, deliberate pattern. It was a warning, an introduction, or perhaps a declaration of interest. Yet, as months passed, the signals grew more frequent, more intense, and then, one day, they ceased entirely. Just as humanity was about to move on, believing it to be a fluke, something unimaginable occurred. A fleet of ships appeared in Earth's orbit. Not just a few ships, but an entire armada, massive, imposing, and unlike anything Earth had ever seen. Their architecture was a strange blend of organic and mechanical, as though living ships had been grown, rather than built. The beings inside them were not what we expected either. Not giant monsters, nor some peaceful race willing to communicate, but an advanced civilization that saw us as beneath them. They had come to conquer, to strip Earth of its resources and enslave humanity. The first battle of the war didn't happen on the ground, but in space, as humanity's fledgling fleet scrambled to intercept the alien invaders. Earth's forces, though technologically advanced, were no match for the alien fleet's sheer power. The alien ships moved with unnatural speed and precision, firing weapons that seemed to tear through space itself. The human fleet was obliterated before it could even make a dent in the alien armada. What followed was a wave of invasion, with alien ground forces landing on Earth's continents, overwhelming cities, and capturing key military and political figures. Humanity's initial attempts at resistance were futile. The aliens were fast, ruthless, and well-organized. They didn't simply want to destroy. They wanted to dominate every aspect of Earth, its people, its resources, its history. The world was on the brink of collapse, and it seemed there was no hope for humanity's survival. But then, something unexpected happened. Humanity, faced with the ultimate extinction, began to fight back. Fiercely, desperately, and with an ingenuity that no one, not even the aliens, had anticipated. What the invaders didn't account for was humanity's ability to adapt, to innovate, and to use what little resources they had to turn the tide. Human resistance cells emerged across the globe, some of them armed with nothing more than makeshift weapons and guerrilla tactics. But others, inspired by the sheer will to survive, began to develop new technologies stolen or adapted from the wreckage of alien ships. These small victories soon snowballed into something greater, a coordinated counteroffensive that began to turn the tide of the war. The aliens, accustomed to facing civilizations that simply crumbled under their might, were now being forced to face an enemy that wouldn't give up. Yet, the war was not just about fighting on Earth. No, the true battle for humanity's survival was being fought across the stars. The alien invaders had far-reaching goals, and Earth was only one piece of a much larger strategy. As Earth's leaders fought to reclaim their world, humanity's best minds began focusing on how to push back, the alien forces beyond our planet, how to fight in space, and how to truly challenge the alien empire that threatened to consume everything. Humanity's will to survive be enough? Can we overcome the technological superiority of the invaders, or will we fall to the same fate as so many civilizations before us? As the war rages on, humanity faces its darkest hour. But remember this: it is in our darkest moments that we discover the true power of our will to fight. The question remains, what will it take for humanity to emerge victorious? As the war raged on, humanity's relentless resolve began to take form. The first step in the counteroffensive was developing a new kind of warfare, one that would rely on guerrilla tactics, surprise strikes, and the weaponization of Earth's most precious resource, its people. As Earth's cities fell, the human spirit remained unbroken. Small factions of resistance fighters, armed with stolen alien technology and bolstered by the ingenuity of Earth's finest minds, began striking back in unexpected ways. It wasn't just the human soldiers on the ground who began turning the tide of the war. Humanity's greatest weapon became its adaptability. People who had never wielded a weapon before suddenly found themselves training to fight in the most brutal of conditions. Scientists and engineers, once working in laboratories far from the front lines, now found themselves designing weapons that could pierce alien armor and hack into alien systems. The alien invaders, though technologically superior, underestimated the human ability to innovate under pressure. One of the turning points in this war came in the form of a daring raid, a direct assault on an alien supply line in space. Using makeshift ships built from the wreckage of their destroyed fleet, humanity's forces infiltrated the alien armada. It was a mission led by Commander Sarah Hayes, a brilliant tactician who had once been a scientist in the civilian space program. Now, she found herself commanding a fleet of ragtag ships, composed of volunteers from across the globe, all united by one common goal: survival. Commander Hayes' mission was to destroy a massive alien weapons platform, a key component of the invaders' ability to strike Earth from space. With limited resources, the mission seemed impossible. Yet, the human force managed to sneak past the enemy's defenses and inflict devastating damage, crippling the alien weapon long enough to shift the balance of power in favor of humanity. The raid became a rallying cry across Earth, inspiring countless others to join the fight. But there was a darker side to the war, one that revealed the true nature of the alien invaders. As the humans pushed back, it became clear that the aliens were not simply conquerors. They were also an empire, built on subjugation, colonization, and exploitation. They used advanced biological weapons to mutate Earth's wildlife, turning creatures into horrific monsters under their control. They experimented on prisoners of war, using humans as lab rats in their quest to understand the unique properties of human biology. The aliens viewed humanity as nothing more than a resource to be harvested. Yet, even as these atrocities were committed, the human resistance grew stronger. Earth's population, though battered and broken, had one advantage: unity. For the first time, the nations of Earth put aside their differences. Former enemies, such as the United States and China, found themselves working together against a common threat. Military commanders, politicians, and civilians all rallied under the same banner: humanity's survival. One of the most fascinating aspects of this war was how quickly humans adapted their strategies and tactics to outsmart the aliens. The invaders, initially confident that they could wipe out humanity in a matter of weeks, were now facing a decentralized, unpredictable enemy. Human tactics weren't bound by tradition or bureaucracy. They weren't constrained by rigid military strategies. Instead, they relied on adaptability and unconventional warfare. The enemy was being outsmarted, outmaneuvered, and overwhelmed, not by superior firepower, but by human creativity and resilience. But there was another element to this war that the aliens hadn't anticipated: Earth's natural resources. The aliens had come to conquer, to extract what they needed to fuel their empire. But they didn't realize that Earth's ecosystem was not just a source of raw materials, it was also a battleground in its own right. Earth's biological diversity, its ecosystems, its plants and animals, everything humanity had come to take for granted, became an integral part of the fight. New bioengineered weapons and defenses began to emerge, incorporating the very essence of Earth's life forms into The battle. Some humans even resorted to creating hybrid weapons. Human and alien DNA fused together to produce monstrous creations that fought alongside them against the invaders. As the war shifted into space, new strategies emerged. Humanity's efforts to develop its own interstellar fleet, though initially plagued with setbacks, began to pay off. Scientists and engineers, forced to work under extreme conditions, began to reverse engineer alien technology at an astonishing rate. They adapted alien shields, weapons, and even their faster-than-light propulsion systems for human use. The war had transformed humanity's space capabilities from a fragile fledgling presence into a formidable force. And this was the beginning of the end for the alien invaders. Yet, even with this newfound technological edge, humanity was still at a disadvantage. The alien fleet was vast, and their forces were relentless. Despite every victory, Earth was still under siege, and the alien armada remained poised to crush any resistance. The fight for Earth had become a fight for the survival of humanity itself. And in the heart of this battle, one question lingered. Would humanity, battered and bruised, rise to face its enemy? Or would the galaxy be forever changed by the aliens' dominion? Humans versus aliens, the war that shook the galaxy. The final phase of the war was nothing short of catastrophic. Yet it was also the moment when humanity's greatest strength became undeniable. The alien invaders, once confident in their superiority, had underestimated the resolve of humankind. Earth was no longer a planet on the brink of collapse. It was the birthplace of a new galactic power, a force that would not only defend its home, but also launch a counter-offensive that would shake the very foundations of the universe. By now, Earth's military had achieved something no one thought possible. The development of a new class of warships, massive, heavily armed vessels capable of holding their own against the alien armada, was humanity's response to the invaders' technological might. These ships, built from both human and alien technology, were designed to be the ultimate weapon. Faster, more maneuverable, and more lethal than anything the aliens had encountered before. With these new warships, humanity began to challenge the alien fleet, not just in space, but in the heart of their own territories. But there was more to this new phase of the war than just military power. It was about the will to fight, the collective spirit of humanity that had been forged in the fires of desperation. The resistance movements, now fully coordinated under a united Earth command, launched a series of surprise attacks that struck deep into alien-controlled space. They attacked their supply lines, crippled key alien infrastructure, and liberated entire colonies of Earthborn civilians who had been enslaved. Each victory, no matter how small, became a symbol of hope, a spark that lit the fires of rebellion across the galaxy. The turning point came when humanity's forces, armed with their new warships and alien technology, managed to track down the alien homeworld. The stakes couldn't have been higher. Destroy the heart of the alien empire, or risk losing everything. The final battle was not one fought on Earth's surface, but in the void of space, at the edge of the alien empire. The battle was chaotic, fierce, and brutally destructive. Humanity's new warships clashed with the full might of the alien fleet, as both sides unleashed their most devastating weapons. Yet, humanity's ingenuity won the day. With precise strikes, the humans disabled the alien warship's primary weapons and their flagship, sending the alien fleet into disarray. The battle was a bloody one, but it was clear that the tide of the war had finally turned in favor of Earth. The alien forces, now facing complete annihilation, had no choice but to surrender or retreat. And they did, surrendering not just to humanity, but to the very spirit that had driven them to the brink of extinction. The war was over, but the victory was bittersweet. The cost of the conflict had been immense. Entire cities were destroyed, countless lives were lost, and the galaxy, though saved, had been irrevocably changed. The question remained: what would Earth do now? Would humanity remain the underdog, constantly fighting for survival? Or would it rise to take its place among the stars, forging a new path in a galaxy that had witnessed their power? The war had not only proven humanity's military prowess, it had proven something even more significant. It had proven that when faced with extinction, when the stakes are high, there is no force in the universe more dangerous than a united human race. In the aftermath of the war, Humanity was no longer a fledgling species struggling to survive. It was a force to be reckoned with, a galactic power that had proven its worth. As the dust settled and peace began to return to the galaxy, humanity found itself at a crossroads. The war was over, but the future was just beginning. What would humanity do with its newfound power? Would they forge alliances with other races in the galaxy, or would they rule with an iron fist? The decisions made in the wake of the war would shape the future of the galaxy, humanity's future. And as the dust of battle faded, one question remained. What happens now?